Hello everyone, welcome back to the lecture series on microwave and radar engineering. Along with the introduction to radars, here I am going to discuss some basic important concepts of the radar which are very useful for further concepts of the radar system. So coming to the introduction, the radar is an electromagnetic based detection system that works by radiating electromagnetic waves and then studying the echo or the reflected back waves. So it radiates the electromagnetic waves and then study the reflected signals, that is which is called as echo or the reflected back waves. Okay, so the full form of radar is radio detection and ranging. The full form is radio detection and ranging. It is radar. So in this one, the detection refers to whether the target is present or not. The target can be a stationary or a movable, that is non-stationary. Coming to the ranging, ranging refers to the distance between the radar and the target. So radars can be used for various applications on ground, on sea and in space. Okay, so the applications of radars are listed here. So these are the basic applications. So controlling the air traffic, ship safety, sensing the remote places and military applications. So in any application of radar, the basic principle remains the same, that is radio detection and ranging the objects, that is targets. So here the radar is used for detecting the objects and finding their location. We can understand the basic principle of radar. So we can understand the basic principle of radar by the following figure. Okay, as shown in this figure, the radar mainly consists of a transmitter and a receiver. So it consists of a transmitter and a receiver. Here it uses the same antenna. For transmitting and receiving the signals. So the function of the transmitter is to transmit the radar signal in the direction of the target present. So the target reflects this received signal in various directions. The signal which is reflected back towards the antenna, so that gets received by the receiver and then it is processed further. The terminology of the radar system. So following are the basic terms which are used in the radar systems. So that is range, pulse repetition frequency, duty cycle, maximum unambiguous range and minimum range. So now let us discuss about these basic terms. So coming to the first one, that is range. So the distance between the radar and the target is called range. The distance between the radar and the target is called range of the target, or simply a range. Simply the range, it is denoted by capital R. So we know that the radar transmits a signal to the target and accordingly the target sends the echo signal to the radar with the speed of light capital C. With the speed of light C. Okay. So let the time taken for the signal to travel from the radar, from radar to the target and back to the radar, it is capital T. The two-way distance between the radar and the target will be 2r, because the distance between the radar and the target is r. So the two-way distance it will be 2r. So now the following is the formula for speed. We know that speed is equals to distance by time. So from that, the distance, that is range, here it is range. So distance is equals to speed into time. So now the distance, the range, it is 2r. So because it is a two-way distance from radar to the target and target to the radar, it is 2r, which is equals to speed into time. Okay. So from this, the range r is equals to ct by 2. We can find the range of the target by substituting the values of c and t in equation 1. So next one will be pulse repetition frequency. The radar signals should be transmitted at every clock pulse. So the duration between the two clock pulses, should be chosen properly in such a way that the echo signal corresponding to the present clock pulse should be received before the next clock pulse. So a typical radar waveform is shown in the following figure. Here it is the pulse radar waveform. So it is the pulse train. Okay. So it is having a series of narrow rectangular shaped pulses. So it is shown that it is a radar transmits a periodic pulses. Okay. So the time interval between the successive clock pulses is called pulse repetition time, which is denoted by TP. Okay. So here it is, the pulse repetition time it is. So here, the pulse repetition frequency of the radar system is the number of pulses that are transmitted per second. The number of pulses that are transmitted per second is called pulse repetition frequency, right? So radar system radiates each pulse at the carrier frequency during transmit time, that is pulse width of this much. Okay, pulse width. Wait for returning echo signal during listening or rest time and then radiate the next pulse. Okay, so the time between the beginning of one pulse and the starting of the next pulse is called the pulse repetition frequency. Okay, so and is equal to the reciprocal of pulse repetition frequency, that is pulse repetition time is equals to 1 by pulse repetition frequency. Okay, PRT equals to 1 by PRF. So next one is duty cycle. So the product of pulse width and pulse repetition frequency is called as duty cycle of the radar system. So here it is. So pulse width is denoted by tau and here it is pulse repetition frequency 1 by capital T. The product of pulse width and pulse repetition frequency is called as the duty cycle of the radar system. So duty cycle is the fraction of time that a system is in an active state. In particular, it is used in the following contexts. Duty cycle is the proportion of the time during which a component, device or a system is operated. So next one, maximum unambiguous range. So we know that the radar signal should be transmitted at every clock pulse. If we select a short duration between the two clock pulses, so like this. So if we select the shorter duration between the two clock pulses, then echo signal corresponding to the present clock pulse. So this is the first one. So present clock pulse will be received after the next clock pulse. That is, suppose So if we are considering this one as echo, okay, so the echoes will be received after the next clock pulse. So due to this, the range of the target, so the range of the target seems to be smaller than the actual range. Okay, so we have to select the duration between the two clock pulses in such a way that the echo signal corresponding to present clock pulse will be received before the next clock pulse starts. Okay, then we will get the true range of the target, and it is also called as maximum unambiguous range of the target, or simply maximum unambiguous range. That is denoted by R unambiguous, that is equals to C into Tp by 2. So as already we have the range C, R equals to C into T by 2. Next one is minimum range. We will get the minimum range of the target when we consider the time required for the echo signal to receive at radar after the signal being transmitted from the radar as pulse width. It is also called as shortest range of the target or minimum range. So the radar wave modulation. So based upon the types of wave modulations, here first one is amplitude modulation. So which vary the amplitude of the carrier sine wave. So frequency modulation. So here it is varying the frequency of the carrier sine wave. Okay. So next, pulse amplitude modulation. So which vary the amplitude of the pulses. So pulse frequency modulation. So which vary the frequency at which the pulses occur. So it is the amplitude modulated wave. Here it is the frequency modulated wave. The amplitude of the carrier signal is varied with respect to this sinusoidal signal. Same here also, the frequency of the carrier signal is varied with respect to the amplitude of the sine wave. Okay. The basic radar operation modes are types of radars. So that is, the radar can be classified into the following two types based upon the type of signal with which the radar can be operated. So here it is mainly the pulsed radar and continuous wave radar. So coming to the pulse radar, so here it is the pulse train. So with the help of the pulse train, here it will be operated. Here in the continuous wave radar, the signal will be continuously transmitted from the radar antenna. Okay. So pulse radar. So what is pulse radar? The radar which operates with pulse signal is called as the pulsed radar. So the pulsed radars can be classified into two types based on the type of the target it is detects. So first one it is basic pulse radar. Next one is moving target indication radar. First one is basic pulse radar. The radar which operates with pulse signal is for detecting stationary targets. For detecting the stationary targets is called the basic pulse radar or simply the pulsed radar. So this pulsed radar uses single antenna for both transmitting and receiving signals with the help of the duplexer. Antenna will transmit a pulse signal at every clock pulse. So the duration between the two clock pulses should be chosen in such a way that the echo signal corresponding to the present clock pulse should be received before the next clock pulse. So coming to the moving target indication radar, that is simply called as MTI radar. MTI radar, the radar which operates with the pulsed signal for detecting non-stationary targets. For detecting the non-stationary targets is called moving target indication radar or simply MTI radar. It uses the single antenna for both transmission and reception of signals with the help of the duplexer. The MTA radar uses the principle of Doppler effect, which we'll learn later in the classes. So for distinguish the non-stationary targets from the stationary objects. So here it is, the pulsed radar. So that which transmitted waves consists of a pulses, and both single antenna and dual antennas also can be used for this in this case. Okay. Next, detection and distance measurements are possible. So here it is the pulsed radar. So pulse train will be transmitted continuously. The pulse train will be transmitted. So this is the transmitted pulse. So here it is finding the target aircraft. So it is moving object. Okay. So this is the target intercept the transmitted signal and radiated it in many directions. Some portion of that re-radiated energy will be reflected back to the radar receiver. Okay. Continuous wave radar. Simply it is CW radar. So the radar which operates with continuous signal or wave, continuous signal or wave is called continuous wave radar. So here they use Doppler effect for detecting non-stationary targets. So continuous wave radars can be classified into two types. Unmodulated continuous wave radar, simply it is CW radar. Next one it is frequency modulated continuous wave radar, that is also called as FMCW radar. Now let us discuss the two radars briefly. So unmodulated continuous wave radar, the radar which operates with continuous signal for detecting non-stationary objects is called unmodulated continuous wave radar or simply CW radar. So it is also called CW Doppler radar because it uses the Doppler effect. This radar requires two antennas. So of these two antennas, one antenna is used for transmitting the signal and the other antenna is used for receiving the signals. It measures only the speed of the targets but not the distance of the target from the radar. It only measures the speed of the targets. Please remember. So next one, frequency modulated continuous wave radar. If CW Doppler radar uses the frequency modulation, if CW Doppler radar uses the frequency modulation, so then that radar is called the frequency modulated continuous wave radar or simply FMCW Doppler radar. Okay. It is also called as continuous wave frequency modulated radar or CWFM radar also. So this radar requires two antennas. So among which one antenna is used for transmitting the signal and the other antenna is used for receiving the signal. It measures not only the speed of the target but also the distance of the target from the radar. So it measures the speed as well as the distance of the target from the radar. So earlier only it can be measured the speed CW radar. Here FMCW radar, it can measure both speed of the target as well as the distance of the target from the radar. Okay. So here it is, a wave is continuously transmitted from the radar antenna. Okay. A single antenna is not sufficient for this case because continuous wave transmission should be there and the reception should be there. For that, one more antenna is required. Okay. So distance measure possible if the wave is operated in modulated form, that is frequency modulation. Okay. So here it is, continuous wave radar. So here transmitter antenna and this is receiving antenna. So continuously the wave will be transmitted, continuously it is transmitting. So if it is any object, moving object is there in this direction, so the Doppler effect will be there, Doppler shifting the frequency. So and the reflected waves will be received by the receiving antenna. Okay. So performance factors. So the factors which affect the performance of the radar, the factors which affect the performance of the radar are known as radar performance factors. So radar performance factors. So we have the following standard form of the radar range equation. So which is useful for calculating the maximum range of radar for given specifications. So here, so in the next class we will derive this derivation. So R max is equals to PTG sigma AE by 4 pi whole square S minimum whole power 1 by 4, where PT is the transmitter power and G is the gain of the transmitting antenna and sigma is the radar cross section or area of the target. AE is the effective aperture of the receiving antenna and S minimum is the minimum detectable signal. So from the above equation, we can conclude that the following conditions should be considered in order to get the maximum range of the radar. So these are peak power transmitted by the radar PT. The peak power transmitted by the radar PT should be high. Okay. Next, antenna gain. Antenna gain, that is transmitting antenna gain, should be high. Next, radar cross section. Radar cross section of the target sigma should be high and effective aperture of the receiving antenna should be high, because these all are there in the numerator part. So while calculating the maximum range R max, and power of the minimum detectable signal S minimum should be low, because there it is in the denominator part. Okay. So it is difficult to predict the range of the target from the standard form of the radar range equation. This means the degree of accuracy that is provided by the radar range equation about the range of the target is very less, because the parameters like radar cross section of the target sigma and minimum detectable signal S minimum are statistical in nature. So next one, it is minimum detectable signal. What is a minimum detectable signal? If the echo signal has minimum power, detecting that signal by the radar is known as minimum detectable signal. Okay. This means radar cannot detect the echo signal if that signal is having less power than that of minimum power. Okay. In general, radar receives the echo signal in addition with noise. If the threshold value is used for detecting the presence of the target from the received signal, then the detection is called threshold detection. Okay. So we have to select proper threshold value based on the strength of the signal to be detected. So we have to select the proper threshold value based on the strength of the signal to be detected. So here a high threshold value should be chosen when the strength of the signal to be detected is high, so that it will eliminate the unwanted noise signal present in it. Okay. So similarly, a low threshold value should be chosen when the strength of the signal to be detected is low. Now we will discuss the applications of radar. So aviation applications. So here the radars are used in these aviation applications, that is fixing positions of aircraft in flight, air traffic control, precision approach and landing guidance to aircraft, severe weather detection, accurate above ground altitude information, terrain mapping. So fields of applications are there. So many fields we are using these radars. So first one, it is main one, military, remote sensing, air traffic control, law enforcement and highway security, aircraft safety and navigation, ship safety, space applications and some miscellaneous applications. So next, coming to the advantages of basic radar. So it acts as a powerful eye. Okay, so it can be see through fog, rain, snow, darkness, haze, clouds and any insulators except through the conductors. So it can find out the range, angular position, location and velocity of the targets. So it can find the range, angular position, location and velocity of the targets. So coming to the limitations, so the radar cannot recognize the color of the targets. It cannot recognize the color of the targets. So it cannot resolve the targets at short distances like human eye. It cannot see targets placed behind the conducting sheets. So it cannot see the targets hidden in water at long ranges. It is difficult to identify short range objects. So here the duplexer in radar provides switching between the transmitter and receiver alternatively when a common antenna is used for transmission and reception. So here only single antenna duplexer is used for transmission and receiving when we are using the single antenna. Okay, so these are the references followed for this lecture. Thank you.